Hey there friends, thanks for checking in. Today we're going to explore what to consider when choosing a 1911. You look at the Springfield line of 1911s and you will see that it is quite large. They have several 1911s and it can be difficult choosing the perfect one for you. So we're going to explore that today. And I broke this down into 5 categories. Purpose. What is the purpose that you are going to use that 1911 for? The primary purpose. I know many of these are crossovers, but then we have to check out the caliber. What caliber would best fit you and your shooting style? We also want to look at capacity. That goes hand in hand with the caliber, along with the features of the 1911s, and you will see that there are several, and they vary quite a bit, along with the cost. We have to consider the cost for every person's budget. So I have several out here, more than just this, so let's get into it. Looking at the purpose, many people want a good home defense 1911, and my choice would be this 1911 operator. It has some features on here that would complement a home defense handgun, features that somebody would want when considering somebody may enter your home uninvited, 4 a.m. What 1911 are you going to choose? I'm choosing the 1911 operator in 45. First, it has G10 grips. Very grippy. Now, you may get very nervous. You may be shaky or something. You want something that some type of grip that you're going to hold on to that pistol with all of your might, and I think these G10s will certainly help. Secondly, it has a front night sight. Now, if the environment's dark, if it is 4 a.m. or something like that, you want to be able to pick up that front night sight. It has that modern feature that not all 1911s have. And to top it off, it has a rail where you could put a light on. Here's a Surefire X300. You could spot, go back to your night sight, focusing on that night sight, spot, move around, focus in on the night sight, spot with the light, then draw your attention to the night sight. I think those combined, along with the 45 ACP and the performance that this 1911 operator offers, is a great choice. When we talk about competition, that's an easy one for me. I have to go with the 1911 DS Prodigy, chambered in 9mm, just a beautiful 1911. This one has a 5-inch bull barrel. It is optic ready. I have a Bushnell RXM 300 on there. Look at that grip. Just a phenomenal grip. You get an amazing grip on it. No recoil. And that's nice for transitioning between target and target with very little recoil with that bull barrel, steel frame. It just keeps you on target, and that nice Springfield 1911 trigger is so nice. Comes with a 20-round mag, which is what this is, and a 17-round mag. And that trigger pull is so light and such a short reset that when you compete with a 1911 like this, you have the advantage, and that's what you want in the competition, and this DS Prodigy will get you there. Looking at CCW, a lot of 1911 fans want something that they can comfortably carry with still keeping the features of a 1911, and you can get that with the 1911 Ronin EMP. This has a 3-inch barrel. Springfield also makes a 4-inch barrel model. It is bull barrel, much like the Prodigy, so when you shoot it, you have lesser muzzle rise, decreased muzzle rise. It has 9 rounds of 9mm in this small package. It has an aluminum frame that keeps the weight down. You're looking at 24 ounces unloaded, and it's a beautiful gun. Now, considering the sights, it has a fiber optic front sight, so when you put those 2 dots up to your eye and you have that front sight right there, it just jumps out at you, and that's why the fiber optic sights have become so popular. But the availability to carry cocked and locked, you could do that with the 1911. This Ronin EMP is no different. The 4-inch model would be a good choice as well, but that trigger is just so nice, and you know, if you want to stay on target, which we all do, the 1911 trigger is, in my opinion, the best way to go. One common attribute with 1911 fans is that they are show-offs. And if I was going to show off a 1911, it would be right here. The the 1911 Emissary, chambered in 45. They also make it in 9mm. It's got that high gloss finish slide, a beautiful flat top with the forward serrations, a tritium front night sight, U-notch rear sight that we see on the Hellcats and some of the XDM Elite models, the G10 grips that mimic the front strap and the flat mainspring housing. Excellent shooting handgun. And one thing that sets this apart, well, there are several, but it does have that flat body face trigger. And when you pull the trigger, some people say squeeze the trigger, but when you do that with this Emissary, it is very nice. Sets it apart from some of the other 1911s that Springfield offers, but I think it looks beautiful with the two-tone finish, matte black top strap, shiny slide, silver frame, just a beautiful looking and shooting handgun. It's such a show-off piece, let's just face it. Alright, so now let's talk about caliber choices, and we'll start with 9mm. I already spoke about the DS Prodigy. I've got a lot more to say about it, but I'll leave it there. And the 1911 Ronin EMP, phenomenal CCW gun, but they're both in 9mm. But they also have some other models chambered in 9mm. And the ones that I have to show is right here, the 1911 Garrison. This one's in stainless steel. Just a beautiful looking 1911. It shoots just as fine. And equally as fine is the 1911 Operator. Now this looks just like the 45 ACP that I opened up this video with, but it's not. It's chambered in 9mm, and this has 9-round mags, and this has 9-round mags. So these are the 1911s I have to show in 9mm. Next is 45 ACP. I spoke about the Emissary. I spoke about the 1911 Operator, but now I want to talk about this one. This is a 1911 TRP, Tactical Response Pistol. And this feels like a custom 45 ACP 1911, but it's not. It's part of the Springfield line. It comes standard with 3-dot night sights, forward serrations, a 7-round magazine with a blended magwell. Fits in there really nice. It's beautiful looking. It also comes with G10 grips, but I kept the wood checker grips on there because there's a part of me that's pretty traditional, and I have the opportunity to do that with this TRP. But when I fire this gun, it is just such a smooth shooting 1911. I love it. I think it's great. Now, the G10 grips are nice, but the wood grips are nice too. 20 line per inch on the front strap and the flat mainspring housing. When you grip this, it just molds to your hand. You just feel that front strap dig into your fingers. You have nice firm hold on the pistol. 45 ACP. Springfield Armory makes a bunch of them, and here are 3 to showcase for this category. You may have noticed that 10mm has grown in popularity the last 5 to 8 years, and a lot of people are looking for handguns chambered in 10mm, and Springfield met the demand in their 1911 line with the 1911 Ronin. Just a beautiful looking and shooting 10mm 1911. It has the stainless frame with the blued slide 5-inch barrel, has a fiber optic front sight, cross cannon grips with some wood texturing on there. It looks beautiful, shoots great, 8-round magazine. Love the trigger pull, but what I also love is the recoil management that this offers the shooter. When I fire this 1911 Ronin chambered in 10mm, it does not feel like most 10mm feel. Like the recoil just seems so much more minimal. I credit that to the build construction of this and the 1911 platform that fosters that. It fosters lower recoil with the heavy steel frame, the forged steel slide and barrel, all that put together. It just is a smooth shooting 1911. And to top it off, the Ronin line is priced very attractively. Now let's talk about magazine capacity. I just spoke about the 1911 Ronin chambered in 10mm, and this offers an 8-round magazine. The 1911 TRP, Tactical Response Pistol, ships with a 7-round magazine. And the 1911 Operator, also in 45, ships with a 8-round magazine. But does it matter? No, not at all. Here's an 8-round mag in the TRP. fits as if that's how it was meant to be. And then over here we've got the 7-round mag in the 1911 operator, and that works just fine as well. So when we look at 45, yeah, some of the Springfields have 7-round mags, some have 8-round mags. They all interchange with each other, no problem. Now we're going to get more of a capacity variation with 9mm, but if you stick with me on this, you'll see it's very simple. The 1911 DS Prodigy is a double stack 1911. It ships with a 20-round magazine that is inserted and a 17-round magazine. Your highest capacity by far that you'll receive is the 1911 DS Prodigy. The 1911 Operator and the 1911 Garrison, both similar in ways, different in ways. You can see just by looking at them, they're a bit different. But they're both chambered in 9mm. Both offer 9-round magazines. You say, what about the Ronin EMP? That's the smallest one on the table. And it certainly is. But this also ships with a 9-round magazine. Let's now talk about the features of 1911s. We'll start with the grips. There are basically 3 types of grips you're going to get with the Springfield 1911s. The first is wood. If you're a traditional guy, you may like wood. I like wood. I think it looks great on this 1911 Garrison with the Springfield logo in there. Nice traditional look, not overly textured. It makes that stainless steel jump out at you a little bit. Has a nice feel. Some would consider it smooth when compared to G10 grips. Now this is the Emissary. This is more aggressive. You could just feel it. And the fact that this flat mainspring housing and the front strap mimic the same texturing as the G10, you get a different feel when gripping the pistol. It's a great feel, actually. I'm a fan of G10 grips. Now, this grip on the 1911 DS Prodigy, you're only going to find at the time of this recording on the DS Prodigy, and it feels great. It's sort of like the adaptive grip texturing they have on the Hellcat models. It just feels so nice. Even on the Echelon, it's a phenomenal grip texturing. But in the 1911 line, currently, you're going to find that on the DS Prodigy. Let's take a minute and talk about the sights. A common sight picture with 1911s and many Springfield Armory handguns is with using a fiber optic front sight, 2-dot serrated black rear sight. So it's serrated black with the 2 dots in there and a fiber optic front sight. It has a very nice sight picture. But the 1911 TRP has night sights in the rear, night sights in the front. All right, so you get that 3-dot night picture in low light conditions. The 1911 Garrison just has standard 3-dot sights. Right? No illumination at all. No fiber optic. It's just 3-dot sights, and many people prefer that. But over here, we've got a tritium front dot on the 1911 Emissary and a U-notch. Very common sight picture for Springfield Armory handguns, and you see that with the Emissary. And it's a phenomenal sight picture. Now let's take a minute and talk about the frame to slide finish. Here we have a 1911 Ronin EMP. It's a 2-tone with that aluminum frame. It looks beautiful, high gloss here, matte black finish, pretty common. All right, looks great. Over here's another Ronin that offers the same 2-tone look. And of course we have that with the Emissary. But stainless steel is a beautiful look in a 1911, and the 1911 Garrison certainly offers that. High gloss, matte silver finish, I should say, on the top strap, but it just looks so cool. But one of the finest and toughest materials that you're going to apply to any firearm is Cerakote, and that's what we have here with the 1911 Operator, all black Cerakote, and I really like Cerakote. It's a very strong finish, and it's very difficult to scratch. There are 3 Springfield Armory 1911s I have that use a ambidextrous thumb safety. That is the DS Prodigy, right? Making it left-handed friendly. The 1911 Operator has a ambidextrous thumb safety, as well as the 1911 TRP. By and large, you're going to see a thumb safety only on the left side of the pistol, suited for right-handed shooters. Personally, I don't see a downside with forward serrations. If you use them, then great. Most 1911s in the Springfield Armory lineup have forward serrations. The Garrison and the Ronin EMP do not, but the Ronin full-size 10mm does, as well as the 45 ACP full-size model. So you're going to get forward serrations in most cases, and for those who don't like them, which confuses me a little bit, you don't have to use them, but I also think they look pretty cool on the 1911. I mentioned several times that I love the 1911 trigger. I love what Springfield has done with their 1911 triggers, and here's the TRP. Most look like this. They're skeletonized, has the 3 holes in there. They function perfectly well with that lightweight trigger pull and the very short reset. The only variations that I can find is that the 1911 Ronin has a little different look to it. Kind of cool. I think that looks super cool, but it's quite a bit different than the 3 holes. All right, we can see right there. But also with the 1911 Emissary, they have this full body flat face trigger. Are you going to notice great difference in performance? Perhaps not with any of these, but they all work perfectly for their intended purpose. Now let's take a look at cost. The 2 on my right are more expensive, less expensive on my left. We'll start with the 1911 TRP. This is like a custom 1911. You're looking at an MSRP of $1,732. So perhaps you may have to save up to get that. People say it's worth it. The Emissary MSRP $1,378. Okay, a little more pricey. Here we have the Garrison and the Ronin. Your best and most budget deals in the Springfield line of 1911s is going to be with the Garrison line and the Ronin line. Both incredible 1911s, but you're looking at an MSRP of $917 and $917, including the 1911 Ronin EMP, $917. Now, the Garrison also has this exact same 1911, except for it has a blued finish at $868. So it's all across the board, pretty much. But on average, you're going to find something like this, the 1911 Operator. This one's in 45, also 9mm. You're looking at $1,184. So Springfield offers a budget line, a more high-end line. There are certain reasons for that. Hopefully I went through it. Trying to scale down your priorities and what you're looking for in a 1911 can be confusing. So I hope this video helped clarify some things, because the Springfield Armory 1911 line is huge. They offer a ton with many different features, finishes, calibers, sizes, and everything else in between. Figure out what you want, figure out the purpose you want it for, and what you're willing to pay, and you will find the perfect 1911 in the Springfield Armory line, and you will do what I did, and that is fall in love with each and every one you get. If you like videos like this, please subscribe and share. I always appreciate thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, and you guys be safe.